Hello, welcome to another episode of the Rocky Sports Talk Sheet. Um, the we're going to be talking about the NBA playoffs and more. I want to start out by saying uh, it's Memorial Day. So to all my fellow vets out there, today's your day, and another day to celebrate. Greatest country in the world, America. But to all the vets currently deployed, I wish you and your families the best and get home safe. So let's get right into it. The Lakers and Suns, let's start off with that. We have the Lakers. AD went out with an apparent groin injury in game 4. He is day to day right now. I don't know how bad the groin injury is. He could very much not play that much or at all. AD the last month and a half, 2 months has just had so many different injuries. That was one of the things I worried about whenever we gave him a contract extension or even brought him to LA is even from his New Orleans Pelican days, he gets hurt a lot. I'm not that fond of that. But hey, it's a growing strain, so even if he is in the lineup with a groin strain, I don't think he's going to do that much at all. Um, so yeah, as he missed the second half, and the Lakers lost Game 4, 100-92, Sunday. So we now have a tied series with the Suns, 2 games apiece, and the defending champs are in trouble. Like I said, this year, this Lakers team, I don't know what to expect. 1 minute, I think they look like they're the best team on the court again, fully healthy. And then the next moment, within 2 games, they just don't look like much at all. So I I don't know what to take from this team, to be honest, this year. Um, I think I'm just gonna sit back and wait. I'm not really going to comment anymore on predictions with the Lakers winning or going to the finals or nothing like that because I just think it's right now that would be foolish. Also, we have the Clippers tied up the series in game 4, 2 games apiece, a 2-0 lead. They have lost the last 2. Luka has been adamant and said that his game 4 performance, he's not going to blame it on the nerves or anything like that. I guess he's hurt right now or something's wrong. He's not going to blame it on his poor play on that at all. So I do like that he's not throwing out any excuses, and rightfully so because, like I said, I still believe the Mavs will beat the Clippers in this series. I said 7. I'm still going to go with 7 games. This will be a 7-game series. I'm waiting for Paul George to have his miserable games, and those are going to be the ones where the Mavs will capitalize on. Yeah, they're going to be coming. I mean, it's going to happen. To me, it's just going to happen at some point. We also have the Jazz are up 2-1 on the Memphis. They play tonight at 9:30. Um, then you have, I think the Grizzlies they're still gonna fight and fight and fight. Like I said, I think the Jazz are just too much for the Grizzlies, but the Mavs are putting up a valiant effort in the series so far. I will say that. I will take the Jazz in Game 4 and go up 3-1, and the Sixers and Wizards Game 4 tonight. Um, the Sixers sweep and get rid of the Wizards, and they move on to the next round. I think tonight. I think they win by maybe 12 or 14. I just I just think the 76ers defensively, especially defensively right now, are just too much for the Wizards. So that's just all there is to it, to be honest. Another thing that's wrong with the NBA right now, and something needs to happen. I understand that the fans, because I'm a part of it, man. We've been this past year and a half, almost 2 years, has been rough with the quarantines and uh, staying inside, being cooped up, not really being able to do everything that we normally do day to day or anything fun for the last year and a half. And it's changed everybody's mental status. It's changed. It's changed a lot. It's changed people's relationships. It's changed people mentally. People more depressed. But that doesn't give the right to the people that are going to these games for these fans, for a fan in each game, it almost feels like each game at this point. We've had like 4 incidences so far in the playoffs. Last night it was with the Nets after the Nets just beat up on the Boston Celtics. A Celtics fan got arrested for almost. It didn't hit him, but you could tell who it was intended for. Almost hitting Kyrie Irving with a water bottle. I mean, he just launched it into the tunnel. Just because you pay money to go to an event doesn't mean that you can do whatever you want. And also, you don't know what to do with the situation because with the 3 events before that, and it being talked about every day for the past week about what fans are doing at these games that are just wrong with the spitting on Trae Young by probably a Knicks fan, and then you had um, the whole popcorn incident with Russell Westbrook. It's just you can't do this kind of stuff. You just can't. Because it also sets a precedent and puts these players in a tough spot. Won't y'all go back and ask? Y'all remember? It was like a decade ago, over a decade ago. Malice in the Palace. Okay, the Pacers and the Pistons. Do you know how many millions of dollars players lost that were involved in that? Do you realize all the sponsors that they lost and the sponsorship dollars that they lost being involved in that brawl in the Palace? But yet the fans don't lose nowhere near as much as the players do. They get involved with this stuff. Nothing. I mean, some of this stuff is just full on assault, especially the spitting on Trae Young. Do you all realize that I mean, there have been people that have been spit on during this pandemic, and the people caught COVID that was on the receiving end and have died from it. Yes, I'm talking about literally. getting spit on, catching COVID, and then dying. I mean, for one, spitting on somebody is considered assault in America, but also in those cases, that could be at bare minimum manslaughter because you're in direct correlation to causing what caused that person's death. You are the cause and effect. So, fans, you need to pay attention, get your minds right, stop acting like hooligans. And it's not even 1% of all the fans that attend these games. Like 99.9%, 0.99 of all the fans in all these games are acting accordingly and are enjoying themselves. It's that 0.01%, that one individual that acts like an idiot. And honestly, last night I just think that guy just wanted to get on TV with all these hearing about what's going on everywhere else and stuff like that. He wanted to have his 5 seconds of fame on national television, good or bad. He got on TV. Well, let me tell you, that's a dumb way to get on TV. Surrounded by security and police officers handcuffed. What a way to get on TV. I I really don't like it. I don't understand it, but it needs to be it needs to get under control, and it needs to get under control right now. Um, Let me know who y'all think are going to win the games tonight. I don't think, like I said, like I said, I think the Wizards are done. Uh, I just I don't think they have anything for the Sixers. I really don't. There's just some series where there's just it's just not in your favor matchup wise at whatsoever. And the Wizards and the 76ers is the worst matchup that I see out there on the court right now in the playoffs. It's just a complete utter mismatch, and rightfully so. So, like I said, I'm a firm believer that they're getting swept tonight, and they're going home. The Grizzlies and Jazz, that's actually closer than people think. I think it's going to be tougher. And don't be at all surprised if the Grizzlies come out and win game 4. I think it'll be a close game. I think this one will be within seven points at the end. I think it will be a back and forth matchup for majority of the game, but I will take the Jazz towards the end to win it to slightly pull away and to win it. Now, um, the other series, the look, good job, New York, the Knicks, and the Nets. New York, both teams are in the playoffs. It's good for the Knicks, but you all don't know how to stop Trae Young. And I honestly thought that you all would win this series before the series started. I'm dead wrong. Uh, the way that they're playing, they definitely can't be down 3-1 and win this series against the Hawks. I wouldn't be surprised if this is over in 5. Julius Randle's had some really bad games in this series. There's been games where D Rose was really doing everything for the Knicks and nobody else was giving them help. And you can't win that way. This ain't Chicago Bulls prime D Rose. Um, but it's still a good D Rose. But that can't be what leads your team to win a series. It just can't be. So I think the Knicks, you had a dream run season. I don't think you should hang your hat whatsoever. Um, I can't remember the last time you were in the top 5 seed in the East. Like I said, you can't hang your head down. You brought excitement back to the New York Knicks, and that's a lot in itself right now for that franchise. So being down 3-1, I and unless Julius Randle comes out with a big game 5, you guys are going to lose game 5 probably, in my opinion. So I think the Hawks advance. Look, the Celtics, you're over. You're just overmatched. You Jason Tatum could go off and it would still do nothing. He can get 50. He might even be able to get 60 in a game in this series. Jason Tatum, you still won't win. It's too much. The Nets are too much for the Celtics. I said that before the series started, and it's not just going to happen to the Celtics, it's going to happen to everybody. Pretty much everybody. The Nets win in 5 like I predicted. I said the Celtics would still win at best. They got their one win in the series. That is all that's going to happen. So, in game 5, this series is over, and the Nets shut the door on the Celtics and send them packing. Then the Nets move on. The two the two tough ones, like I said, I think the Mavs will beat the Clippers in 7, even though they had an abysmal game yesterday. I mean, they just flat out were getting whooped by the Clippers yesterday. They got whooped. Let's not sugarcoat it. The Dallas Mavericks got smoke checked yesterday. I think they'll bounce back for the rest of the series. They won't get smoke checked like that. This is going to be still a close series. I still think the Lakers can win this series, but this is now definitely going to go 7, in my opinion, as well. So the Clippers series and the Lakers series is going to go 7, in my opinion. And honestly, I'm just going to wait until after game 6. Because the only thing is, if a decent AD doesn't come back on the court, the Lakers lose this series to the Suns. Like, that's the thing. If AD does not come back and play remotely decent, um, at least get a double double. That means that oof, Andre Drummond will have to start putting up 20 and 15 or 20 and 20 for the Lakers to have a chance to win it. With LeBron James balling out. I mean, and CP Caldwell Pope hitting some threes, and the Lakers hitting threes. Like, they're going to need a lot of things to happen if AD does not really play at all really well, because physically he can't. There's going to be a lot of things that have to bounce the Lakers' way for them to win this series against the Suns. The Suns didn't get the 2 seed by luck. They were a great regular season team, and they earned their seeding flat out. But those are the 2 toughest series. We already know the Bucks. I mean, yeah, the Heat was just nothing. I even said that this wasn't the Heat team from last year. I even predicted they would sweep them. They did. So, yeah. But I think the next round, Milwaukee is done. You're done for. Whenever you meet uh, the The Nets. I think they play the Nets in the next round. It's done. Giannis, you're done. Like everything about it is done. The Nets win that in 5 or 6. Easy. Let me repeat this. Easy. Like the Sixers are the true competition, in my opinion, in the East. For the Nets. Nobody else. If the Knicks came through, the Knicks could have been a little bit of trouble with their defense, but hell, they can't even do that in the playoffs now. So it's just the 76ers. And the 76ers just I don't think it's gonna cut it. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. They remind me of the CP3, Blake Griffin, Lob City Clippers. You think they can make it to the finals like 5 or 6 straight years, and they just never do. Or yeah, that conference final, all that stuff. They remind me of the Clippers. They remind me straight up like those Clippers. Now this year, Embiid has played his ass off. He's played superbly great. He's definitely a top 3 candidate for MVP. Even though, flat out, in my opinion, Nikolai Jokic, the Joker, he's flat out got it, in my opinion. The regular season MVP this year, but Embiid was right there, and at points Embiid was in the lead, but that won't mean nothing against the Nets because you will be playing the Nets. If the Sixers get to, as they should, um, I just think that's the best matchup in the East would be the Nets and Sixers. But still, ain't nobody beating the Nets, and there's the still right now the Nets are the favorite to win, and rightfully so. They have 3 of the 5 best players in all of basketball on their team. Well, 3 of the top 15. Kyrie's a top 15 to me, but the other 2 are top 5. I mean, you've never seen a team that has 3 of the top 15 players on one team. Ever. Not that I've ever really seen. Not in this era. So I just huh, I don't I don't see nothing happening here. Could be wrong, but I won't be wrong. I just won't be wrong. Uh, we also have man, I to be honest, I really don't know what to think about this playoffs. I mean, the Lakers, what's going on with them? The Clippers, yeah, you smoked the Mavs yesterday. Pat yourselves on the back, but they're not as good as they should be. Um, and I'm not afraid to say it. It's just I'm not as into. I'm gonna be flat out honest with everything going on this year and the hypocrisy in the NBA. I'm not as invested into it this year as I normally would have been in previous years. Um, I definitely was invested in it heavily last year, especially after Kobe passed away, because I really wanted my Lakers to win. For Kobe, they got it. That's cool. Honestly, if we don't win it this year, I'm cool with it. I'm accepting of it. Not many seven seeds win the NBA Finals. When do you see that happen? You really don't. And whenever you take out one of the AD or LeBron, the Lakers are a below average team. That's just what they are. They both have to be healthy the whole postseason for them to have a chance to win the title. That's just all there is to say about that. Um, Again, I don't see too much really coming about this. This postseason really is kind of boring to me. To be being dead honest, it's really boring. Um, with all the fans acting stupid, it's just I don't know. It just seems like a joke in a lot of ways to me. Um, in other sporting news, let's get on to other stuff here. We have the Rays are playing the Yankees. Are in the bottom of the first right now, tied 0-0. Of course, the Yankees not having a really good season. I think they're like 29-24, 5 games above 500. But the Rays they're balling. They lead that division, and they lead that division by a decent amount right now. And they're really good. So the Yankees definitely have a tough series there. The Phillies play the Reds. The Phillies are 25-28, and the Reds are 23-28. That game is at 2:10 Eastern time. You have the 32-20 division leading White Sox against the 28-23 Indians. That should be a good series. I think it will be. You have the 22-31 Detroit Tigers versus the 28-25 Milwaukee Brewers. I'll take Milwaukee in that series. I'll take the Indians over the White Sox in their series. Take the Rays over the Yankees. I'll take the Reds over the Phillies. You got the division leading San Diego Padres, a 34-20 record against the 29-23 Cubs. I'll take the Padres. You got the 32-20 Red Sox against the 28-24 Houston Astros. I'll take the Astros in that one. Um, let's see here. I know my Cubs are doing pretty good so far. They lead the Central there, so I'm pretty proud of my Cardinals right now. They only have a half game lead over the Cubs, but they're leading their division. Um, they are 30-22. So really, they got like a full game lead, in my opinion. One less loss and one more win. So I don't know why these outlets they have them a half game behind. It's not a half game; it's a full game. So let's just hope Cardinals, you just keep playing well. Um, can you get me some W's, man? We also have the 24-29 Los Angeles the LA Angels. against the San Francisco Giants, 33-20. I'll take the Angels. You got the division leading Oakland A's, 31-24 against the 27-27 Seattle Mariners. I will take the Oakland A's. You got the 21-28 Washington Nationals against 24-28 Atlanta Braves. I'm going to take the Nationals. I already told you about the White Sox in Cleveland. You got 20-32 Pittsburgh Pirates against the 25-26 Kansas City Royals. I'm going to take the Royals in that one. Then later on tonight, we do have a good one. It's almost kind of been like our outside division rivalry because I remember many playoff series and stuff like that. Great memories. But you have my Cardinals 30-23. My bad. Earlier said 30-22. So I guess they do only have a half game lead on the Cubs. They played the 31-22 LA Dodgers, taking the Cardinals in a tough one though. The Dodgers are no joke. The 25-20 New York Mets against the 19-35 Arizona Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks have been playing really bad. Like they broke their 13-game skid against my Cardinals the other day. But still, you were on a 13-game skid. Like it's tough to lose 13 in a row and come back from that. So right now, Arizona, I don't know what's wrong with them. They're in a tough spot. I'm taking the Mets. I don't trust Arizona, the Diamondbacks right now. So there's your baseball news. There's your schedules and there's your games for the evening. Yep. Now let's get back into the NFL. There are rumors right now with Julio Jones, the wide receiver from the Atlanta Falcons, that there are trade offers out there right now. And it seems like the offers are for second and maybe third round draft picks. So far, there really hasn't been much of first round draft pick offers, apparently, per reports and out there. So I don't know what the Falcons would get for Julio, but I don't think it's going to be a first rounder. I think the second round does make sense. I think they should at least get a second and a third. I think that if you get anything less than that, it's not a good trade. So I think you have to at least get a second and a third, or at the least, 2 seconds for this to be a fair trade. Because you are towards probably the latter years of Julio, not his prime years, but still. The reports are also that the Seahawks and the Falcons have discussed the Jones trade. That would have been nasty. Apparently, Mac Jones' energy and his swag is winning some teammates. Some of his fellow Patriots teammates have really become a big fan of his, and it seems like he's winning over the Patriots locker room. So don't be surprised if this continues, if Mac Jones is a starting quarterback day one and Cam Newton becomes the backup quarterback. I think I kind of thought Mac Jones was going to get the start anyways. And at some point, Cam was going to be the backup quarterback. That's just my belief. Me, now the whole Aaron Rodgers drama, I really thought there for a while the Broncos were going to trade for Aaron Rodgers. And I really thought a trade was going to happen at some point. If not this year, then next year. It probably might have to wait till next year. But at some point, you've only got like 3-4 years to see what a first round quarterback looks like in your investment as a team. You don't trade up in the first round to get a quarterback and not put him out on the field. A lot of people say that. It's because it's true. He's under a rookie contract. You really want to see what you got while he's under the rookie contract. You don't want to take the risk to pay a big number contract without seeing what he's got. That would just be dumb business. But I think this year, I think the Packers are just so upset with Aaron Rodgers. And I just think that in some petty ways, I think the Green Bay Packers are going to not cave. And they're going to wait and see if he reports or not. And if he doesn't report, well, see, this is what Aaron Rodgers has got to understand. You were in the same situation. You were on the other receiving end of the drama with you and Brett Favre. You weren't the one demanding a trade and not getting your starting spot. You were the one that replaced Brett Favre, caused Brett Favre to go. So you have seen it, you know it, you lived it. You can't be exactly crazily pissed off when it happens to you if you were involved with it happening with another Hall of Fame and one of the best to ever do it. I mean, in some ways, Aaron Rodgers, you got to get your own head out of your ass. Like, you act like the Green Bay Packers haven't done shit for you, and in a lot of ways, that's very fucking laughable. I mean, they chose Brett Favre over you, or they chose you over Brett Favre. They got rid of Brett Favre, who was beloved in Green Bay. I mean, loved and worshipped in Green Bay when they did this. A lot of fans were pissed about it, but they still stuck with you. Not everybody can play into their 40s like Tom Brady. Not everybody. But yes, could Aaron Rodgers do it? Yes, he could. Primarily because there was years whenever he was in the league as a backup for Brett Favre, those are years saved of hits, sacks, injuries that may have really helped him to prolong his career into the ages of 40s. Okay? So be thankful for that. And you are also able to learn a lot from Brett Favre. Don't take that for granted. You probably became the player you are today in a lot of ways due to Brett Favre. He won't say it. He won't give him his credit. But, I mean, you're there practicing every day with each other. You're going to learn stuff. You are going to learn. And if you don't think that Aaron Rodgers wasn't paying attention to Brett Favre while he was all them years as a backup, you're sadly mistaken, because he definitely was. And he was definitely taking notes primarily to replace his ass. And eventually he did. And kudos, that's your job. Your job is to try to be the man. Your job isn't to go to the NFL to be the backup. You fight to get that starting spot. He did his job. But I think that this is becoming this is going to end, and it's not going to end the way Aaron Rodgers wants. I think that if Aaron Rodgers really wants to get traded, he's going to have to sit out this year. I don't think the Packers are going to cave, and this is why I say it's a win-win for the Packers and not Aaron Rodgers. Yes, they may not win the Super Bowl this year if he sits out. But what good does come out of this situation? If he sits out, they get to see a year with their quarterbacks that they drafted in the first round, and they actually get to see if he can make it, and they actually get to see what he can do. That's why I say it's a win-win for the Packers. They get to see either Aaron Rodgers fold and come into camp, play, practice, whatever, or even just show up at the regular season, play. It ain't like he doesn't know the playbook. He knows the playbook. I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers. He knows what Green Bay's doing on offense. He'll lead them to wins, lead them to a division win. He'll lead them into the playoffs, or this quarterback could end up being the real deal. He could lead them to the playoffs. He could lead them to a division win, or he could have a decent. Either way, they get to see what they got under a rookie contract. That's what a lot of people aren't understanding here. The Packers aren't going to cave, in my opinion. If anybody caves, it's going to be Aaron Rodgers. And I doubt that he's going to give up all the millions of dollars and his I doubt he's going to give up a full season salary. Because I'm going to tell you right now, with Asian yet another year, I don't see a team giving him $40-45 million per year for him to get traded. I don't see a contract like that. I don't see that happening. He would just be smart just to suck it up. Because in a lot of ways, yeah, you're pissed because they told you that the GMs and the office people said, let us deal with this. You're the quarterback. Just go play ball. Well, hindsight, Aaron Rodgers, I know that we're in a soft era in today's age, but they're fucking right in telling you that, dude. Yes, you can voice. Do you all think, have you all listened to how Aaron Rodgers speaks and talks? He really does sound like a douchebag. I bet what you didn't hear in that interaction that probably happened in that office is probably Aaron Rodgers came across as a total douchebag to them. It rubbed him the wrong way, and they gave him the response that they get in return. And he couldn't take it. He could dish it, but he can't take it. That's what it seemed. I don't like Aaron Rodgers. I hate his attitude. I can't stand it. And I can't stand him in a lot of ways. He's smug. He's smug. That is a really good word for Aaron Rodgers. Smug. They're not going to cave, Aaron Rodgers. So you might as well just suck it up, report if you don't want to lose your money. Because, like I said, either way, the Packers are winners. They're going to win one way or the other. Either they're going to win a lot of games with you, or they're going to be able to finally see what they have in investment-wise in their young quarterback that they took in the first round. Either way, they win. They win. They can't lose in this. The only way they lose is if they put him in and he gets hurt and you still don't show up. then yeah, it will show, oh boy, the Aaron Rodgers vacancy will then show. Whatever. I believe that's a chance they are willing to take. All right. So let me know what you all think is going to end up happening with Aaron Rodgers. But I stand firm with what I think. And also, I'm going to give y'all one trade that I think will happen. Remember the Eagles tight end that's been really unhappy, Zach Ertz? I'm going to give you a trade that I think will happen, maybe even before the regular season starts. And I believe that is going to be the Indianapolis Colts quarterback, Carson Wentz, will get his tight end, and the Indianapolis Colts will trade for Zach Ertz. And I think Zach Ertz will reunite with Carson Wentz in Indy. I think that's one trade that I think people need to pay attention to and watch out for. Because I really, truly believe, really, 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 truly believe that trade will happen. At least before the regular season or by the trade deadline in the middle of the season. That is my trade prediction of the year. I do believe that Julio will get traded, but at this point in time, it's not going to be what team gets him. It's going to be what's the best offer that the Falcons receive. So I can't really predict where he's going to go because you don't know what team's going to give the best trade offer or the trade package. So, yes, I do believe Julio will get traded. It definitely would save like $15 million, which I think is why the Falcons want to trade him, is for that $15 million. And I think that they just want to rebuild. I think they want to rebuild, they want to restock and reload. And honestly, it's about time for them to do that. So you all can let me know in the comments down below where you all think Julio might go. But I definitely think he's getting traded. Julio, for sure, will get traded. I mean, hell, he even said it on live television, guys, on to Skip Sharp on the phone, which could end up being somehow illegal if Julio doesn't approve of it. But he said it on live TV that he doesn't want to be with the Falcons and that he's out of there on live TV. I think the writing's in the wall for sure. Trevor Lawrence is also praising Tim Tebow. Apparently, he's doing awesome. And you know, also there's some clips out there. You gotta go watch them because I do watch a little bit of wrestling, and one of my favorite wrestlers of all time is Chris Jericho. You should go see this little clip with Chris Jericho in Urban Meyer's office on AEW. Yeah, well, the Jacksonville Jaguars, man. AEW made its way into the NFL, guys, and my boy Chris Jericho. Maybe go check out that clip, kind of look into it. I don't know. It's just something for y'all to know and look at. It's a little different, but you know. But if I will say this though. If I had 3 teams where I think he should go, I'll go ahead and name it. we know this team has probably the best running back in the whole NFL. We know they can run the ball a lot. They don't have the greatest receiving core though. But if you had a Julio, this team is a lot more dangerous in their division and for in the playoffs. And there's this sleeper team that I would not put it out of range would be the Tennessee Titans. If you put Julio in that receiving core with Derrick Henry in the backfield, that could be a really dangerous offense and a really dangerous team. Another team, what about the Buffalo Bills? You don't think the Buffalo Bills want to find a way to get past the Kansas City Chiefs? And, next year, I don't think the Baltimore Ravens are going to be an elite team. Just my opinion. There for a little bit, it did seem like it was going to be the Kansas City Chiefs, the Bills, and the Ravens. Well, I think it's the Bills and Kansas City, the two best AFC teams right now. And then maybe Cleveland could sneak in there, but I have to see consistency first. I can't just go off last year. I got to see consistency for at least another year, knowing the history of the Cleveland Browns. Like I said, I'm not dogging them. They should be a really good team, but I have to see consistency first before I put them as the top three elite team for the AFC for Super Bowl contender. But the Bills don't think that they don't want to find a way to get past Kansas City. Kansas City could maybe trade. Nah, it couldn't happen. There's no way in hell. That would just be crazy. I know they would give away Sammy Watkins, maybe some of the other receivers, speedy receivers they have that doesn't see the field that much. But I don't think the Falcons would take that deal. But I think that they definitely want to put Julio in the AFC. I don't think they want him, especially in the division. Definitely don't want him in the division. Could see, another team, a division rival of mine. I don't want to see it happen, but it could. What about the Washington Redskins? Give another weapon for that offense with an already really good defense. I wouldn't put that out of question. I truly wouldn't. Detroit Lions, they just lost their star receiver. In free agency, they kind of need something to work with because they just traded to get Jared Goff. So that could be a landing spot, would be the Detroit Lions. If Green Bay does actually want to make some kind of amends and make something work with Aaron Rodgers, they could pair him with Devontae and maybe get Aaron Rodgers out of his little baby hissy fit that he's under, because I guess he wants to control the draft now and what the team picks in the first round, because I guess he has that kind of say. Newsflash there, Aaron Rodgers, though. Your offense hasn't been the problem. Your defense is what is the problem whenever playoffs come around. And maybe your team is drafting right, trying to get the defense right. Maybe they're trying to not keep you on the field and put so much on your shoulders. Have you ever thought about that, Aaron Rodgers? Just fucking saying, man. Maybe you should just play ball and shut the fuck up. Stop crying like a little baby back bitch. That's just real talk. I'm not a fan of his. I'm just not a fan of his. I truly think his ego is what has cost him to only have one Super Bowl. His fucking ego and his attitude is why he only has one Super Bowl. And I think by the end of his career, if he still has one, his career is almost labeled a bust to me. Because a quarterback of that talent should at least have three, in my opinion. At least Peyton Manning's been to three. Aaron Rodgers can't even do that. And he acts like he hasn't had good receivers. Dude, you had, a good Randall Cobb. You had a really good Jordy Nelson paired with other. You act like you haven't had weapons, and that's stupid. You know, you had the tight end. That look, man, just shut the fuck up. So let's go with that. Um, I think those might be the spots where Julio may go to. By the way, and also maybe one more. I'll throw out one more team: the Bears. Maybe the Bears. Just because I think they're going to want to help that young quarterback. I don't think the Jets will land them, or you know the Jags. Nobody like that. I just don't see. I don't think they'll land them. Um, so yeah, those are teams to kind of watch out for. Maybe, but yeah, Dallas. I know we don't need them. I mean, we got three really good receivers. We got a great receiving core. Even though people don't want to admit it, I think we have the best talent wise. We definitely lost our quarterback last year, and rightfully so. Um, After that happened, they didn't put up the numbers they should have. But with a healthy Dak Prescott, hopefully this year, don't think that those three receivers ain't gonna. Don't think that the receiving core ain't gonna put up monster numbers because they are. The only thing is, can my defense that was dreadfully bad last year help Dak? I doubt it, but I'm still putting faith that they can. Because not only that, did we bring in another defensive coordinator? We brought in Quinn, who also had one of the worst defenses last year, to be our defensive coordinator, which makes sense, right? That makes a lot of sense. So I say, I'm praying, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm not overly excited. But I am very excited with the picks that we made defensively in this year's draft. I do want to reiterate that. And honestly, here's one way that I'm gonna, because I know a lot of Cowboy fans get on my channel. I will say this as a Cowboys fan myself. One way you can truly help this defense, Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, front office, admit failure and a few of these contracts that you threw out on the defensive end. One in particular that I want to see, maybe you trade them. And maybe look at it this way: get two good defensive linemen to take his spot instead of one elite one in a trade. Just give me two. I can put two players for this one player. I can plug them in. I can take them in and out. I can get them rest. I can play two guys at this one spot, and they'll not be tired. That one position on the field won't be wore out or tired during the whole game, and it would still give me more production than this one player I'm about to name. But trade DeMarcus Lawrence. The last 2 years, he's been abysmal. Especially last year. Straight up abysmal. I watched games, even though they were so hard to watch. And I even wondered at times, man, where is DeMarcus Lawrence on that field? Is he even playing today? Oh, he's in there? Oh, my bad. Because I couldn't tell. I just flat out could not tell whatsoever. That's the problem in some of these major sports. You get that big contract and you get that huge, big millions and millions and millions of dollars at the moment you sign it, the dotted line. And then you never show up after. It happens to a lot of players. Why don't you ask the Washington Redskins about Albert Hainsworth? They loved that deal. He got that big contract. He was a total farce after that. A total joke. He looked like an undrafted player. Guess what, DeMarcus Lawrence? You look like an undrafted player. Get rid of him and give me. I don't even, like I said, don't give me a great player. Doesn't even have to be 2 or 3 good players. Give me 2 or 3 solid players. Solid. Meaning they're consistent. Give me 2 or 3 consistent players. I'll take that trade every day of this year. And that team could take that awful contract with them. That'll definitely help our salary cap next year and the years moving on. Not having to pay that idiot his money because he sure as hell ain't doing nothing. And another reason why I love his draft, Micah Parsons is a beast, guys. He's going to be really good in the NFL. I did see him play a couple years ago at Penn State. I remember watching several games at Penn State a couple years ago, not last year, but a couple years ago. And that dude was a monster on the field. Every team that he played remembered him. Even Ohio State. Ohio State was great that year. They remembered playing him. That dude was a beast in college. A beast of a player. And he's going to be a good NFL player. And you know what? Hopefully Leighton Vander Esch's injuries can clear up. But at some point, you might want to trade one more contract, and that might be Jalen. Awesome story, dude. Your career seemed to be over. Dallas took a chance on you in the second round. You came back from injury, played well there for a little bit. You got back on the NFL field. Good story for you. But after last year and the year before that, I just saw your play going down, 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 down. Trade that contract away. And honestly, I don't truly need replacements at his position. We got like 2 or 3 in the free agency and in the draft to replace him. We have enough at his position. We have enough linebackers. Tell you what you could do. Give me some more corners and safeties. Or give me some more on the D-line or offensive line. I don't mind upgrading the O-line. That is for sure. I want us to have another top 5 O-line. That would be smart. Maybe protect your quarterback that almost had career-ending surgery. Might want to do that. That's why he almost felt us, but he didn't. I really wish that the 6th pick, you did not take Penei Sewell. I was really, really, really wanting Penei Sewell, but Micah Parsons is a good plan B. Because corner-wise, I think that one from Kentucky, the corner from Kentucky and his teammate from Kentucky are going to be really good players on this defense. And they were both later round picks. I believe they were fourth and fifth or sixth round picks. Trust me, Dallas got two good steals because those guys, I'm telling you, are both second round talents at worst. I'm telling you. Go back, not to last year. Here's what people got to remember. I don't count last year's college football season. They didn't have practice, all this other stuff. They didn't have a lot of things. That was not at all nowhere near a normal college football season last year. Go back to the year before that, though. Go look at that Kentucky defense. Go look at those. Go look at that. Go look at the clips. Go look at the footage, and go look at those players that we took off Kentucky. I will tell you what. It's the draft picks that really have me excited for our defense. But it's hard to think in the first year that they're all going to start playing at NFL level right away. That usually doesn't happen. But I will say, I'm looking forward definitely to next season for our defense. Dallas is going to have, they keep this up. And if some of these players, not all of them, but if some of them snap their head out of their ass and start actually playing like they used to, and then these rookies, these draft picks, get a full year under their belt, next year could honestly be a top 5 defense. Without a shadow of a doubt. Because I already think our rookie corner from last year, I think he's going to have a hell of a better year this year. And I think he's really going to show his real talents this year. He ain't going to get beat like a lot of times he did last year. He's not. He's going to have a hell of a better second year. Trust me. I firmly believe that, and I'll put money on that. And then you put that Kentucky corner with him. And maybe some of these free agents may work out. Keanu, I think, put him at safety. Not really linebacker, but put him at safety. I think he plays better at safety than linebacker, in my opinion. There are some of these defensive players that we got from the Falcons can make some contributions. Not the greatest players, but there's a couple of them, couple of free agents that can be plugged into safety, in my opinion, and actually be really solid, if not good. They could be a top 15 safety in the league with their play. So if I just have a top 15 defense, that's all I want. Not even top 5, not top 10, top 15. This Cowboys team has a top 15 defense to go with this offense. And maybe Ezekiel Elliott shows up this year. If he doesn't, it's time to give the reins to Pollard, man. Because Pollard has shown he can play. And I don't doubt for 1 second that, as of right now, Pollard may be the better running back of the two. But you have Dak back there again, and you have those 3 receivers. And don't sleep on our tight end, because our tight end played really good last year. He really came into his own last year. So I think we actually have also a top 15 tight end in the league. I think he's going to have a really, really good year this year. So offensively, not at all worried. But defensively, just be top 15. I don't care if you're ranked 15. Just be top 15. And this team could be a contender, a legitimate contender. Now, we ain't winning no Super Bowl. I'm a realistic Cowboys fan. We ain't winning the Super Bowl this year. But we can't make the playoffs. And we should in that division. We should win that division. But we will see what happens. Anyways, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Hopefully, y'all got some these good conversations. So hopefully, y'all message me what y'all think about the trades. What do y'all think about what I said? And some of y'all, look, I know y'all don't like what I say about Aaron Rodgers, but that's my opinion. That's just, I don't like him. I'm being honest, at least. I'm not hiding the fact. He is a first ballot Hall of Famer, hands down. Yes, he is. He is one of the best to throw it. But man, every time I watched him play and he throws an interception or a bad pass or whatever, he always has that face to blame his teammates. He never takes accountability. He's just an arrogant, smug asshole. Flat out. He's just a more talkative Jay Cutler. There, I said it. I fucking said it. He is just a more talkative Jay Cutler. Come at me if you want, but also if you're going to come at me, make sure you do your study as well. Because I watched the NFL, and I'm just telling you, he's a pre-fucking Madonna. But that's it for this episode. Please like and subscribe. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at Rocky Sports, ROCKEY Sports. Also, I am a gamer. I do have a stream I put in there like a few weeks ago on Twitch. It's the name of this channel, all one word, on my Twitch account, Rocky Sports Talk Sheet. So you can follow me and stuff on Twitch as well. And hopefully you like this video. Until the next episode, guys, hope you all enjoy the games tonight of baseball, NBA, and hope you all have a good holiday. Hope you all enjoy your grilling out and stuff like that. And till next time, peace out, everybody.